What does nature finance mean, and how do we use it to incorporate nature-based solutions, and how does this drive to reducing disasters and mitigation and all the wonderful climate action words we've had? Break it down for us, please.
But before I move into the definition of nature finance, I just want to mention that, are you guys aware that the world will soon run out of sand? It's important for us to understand the concept of nature. Under nature finance, I think for me, having moved into this field from having worked within the insurance sector for a large part of my career, just the understanding that there's a need to understand science is very important and comes out key. So when you talk about nature finance, you're talking about the science side of it, which is the nature side, and you're talking about the finance side, for which many of us are well versed in. So on the nature side, you begin by understanding the 4 biomes, and that is the land, the ocean, the fresh water, and the atmosphere. And I just pick that as defined by a number of frameworks that are currently being developed, including one that I'll talk about later, the TNFD. And so under these 4 realms, land, ocean, fresh water, and the atmosphere, through that, then you're able to fully understand nature in the context of the natural capital that, exists. If it's land, then the minerals that exist, soil, things like sand. If it's the atmosphere, just fresh air, etc. And that's where things like pollution comes in. But before I move into the definition of nature finance, I just want to mention that, are you guys aware that the world will soon run out of sand? The world will soon run out of sand, sadly so. A couple of years back, I think about a year or two, about a year back, Nestle had to reduce some parts of its, some components of chocolate because of the cocoa crisis in Ghana, largely because farmers were experiencing lower yields because of not incorporating sustainable or regenerative agricultural practices. And so really there was a crisis in Ghana, and because of that, companies like Nestle were severely affected. As an insurer, you have most probably insured some of these entities. As a bank, you may have funded, lent money to some of these institutions. So basically, what does nature finance mean? Nature finance simply means looking at all the 4 realms, or like the ones I've mentioned, and trying to define or create financial instruments that will conserve, protect, and restore nature across those 4 realms. So in a very simple manner, it's basically finding ways to create financial instruments or nature-based financial solutions that will actually protect, conserve, and restore nature.